Good morning, friends. Anne here. Got my cup of coffee, got the Word of God, and today's reading is from Acts chapter 26. Let me catch you up to what is going on in Acts 26. So before Acts 26, Paul had been a missionary of Jesus Christ. He had this amazing conversion experience, which we're going to hear in this chapter. And he had been going around and sharing the good news of the gospel, sharing what Jesus had revealed to him to all these people. And he was chased and he was kicked out of towns and people arrested him and he was in chains. And then finally, he appealed to Rome. And he said, I am a Roman citizen. You cannot kill me right now. And so he had to go to Rome to be tried. So in Acts chapter 26, this is what is happening. And he finally comes before King Agrippa and he tells his story. And he says, hey, this is what's happening. You can ask anyone here. I was one of the highest Pharisees, trained in Jewish religious rites and all of the things. And on my way to Damascus, Jesus came and visited me. I saw a light from heaven. I fell down and I heard Jesus say, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? It is useless for you to fight against my will. And then Paul says, which he used to be Saul, Paul says, and I said, who are you, Lord? And then the Lord replied, I am Jesus, the one you are persecuting. And Jesus tells him that he will be the one to take the gospel to the nations. And he's blinded and then he's healed. And there's this whole miraculous story that he is telling. And then what we hear is how the king received this news. So let's look at verse 26. Actually 25. But Paul replied, I am not insane, most excellent Festus. What I am saying is the sober truth. And King Agrippa knows about these things. I speak boldly, for I am sure these events are all familiar to him, for they were not done in a corner. King Agrippa, do you believe the prophets? I know you do. Agrippa interrupted him. Do you think you can persuade me to become a Christian so quickly? Paul replied, whether quickly or not, I pray to God that both you and everyone here in this audience might become the same as I am, except for these chains. Friends, this work of helping others come to see who Jesus is not a quick, fast, easy work. It's not that we just open our mouth and we tell our story and then people come to Christ. Sometimes that happens, but very rarely does that happen. We are called to share our story, to plant seeds of faith in other people's lives, and then let God do the rest. Sometimes it takes multiple people sharing their stories and multiple people planting seeds of faith in someone's life before that person comes to Christ. We need to press on. We need to press in. We need to keep telling our story. Friends, tell your story, plant your seeds, and let God do the rest. Have a good day.